I am grateful for the ways that the Lord met with me in January and from the stories I've heard from many of you as we've met in spiritual direction and as I've interacted with you here on Substack uh, and over the phone and at church and various places. I know that there's a heaviness that we're carrying in the world. And so I'm hoping today that you will receive this monthly invitation to spend some time reflecting on the month that has been and welcoming the new month that's ahead of us. So I'll be sharing in the post below some of my own reflections from January. I had the privilege to go January 9th through 11th to Minneapolis, actually, which was just something on my calendar for a long time. And the timing of going on that particular weekend to be with women, a group of women from Restoration Anglican Church there in Minneapolis, at a weekend retreat as they were carrying heaviness and grief and from their cities and from their previous year. They are no stranger, and it wasn't just the current headlines that they were carrying with them. And so they're no stranger to grief and unrest. And yet to be at a retreat center with them in the cold, frozen Minneapolis winter, so much ice. I'm quite proud of myself. Actually, at one point, I was able to walk across the ice to get a look at Minnehaha Falls and right in the city of Minneapolis, and that was a lot of fun. I did not fall. Very proud of myself for that. Tried my first cheese curds. Delicious. I don't know why those are only in the Midwest. We should welcome those here as well. But the moment that stands out most to me and that came up for me as I was praying through my examen was listening to the women sing. And the first night we were together at this retreat, their musicians hadn't been able to arrive yet, and so the pastor Ashley led us in a cappella singing, and one of the songs that they sang was "It Is Well with My Soul." And hearing, I'm kind of thinking that maybe people in Minneapolis sing really well, as we've just have beautiful voices, as we've been able to watch video after video of singing resistance in Minneapolis. But to hear that hymn sung by those women on that weekend in that place is a memory that I want to carry with me as I go into February, um, as I go into Lent that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and as I go into the rest of 2026. I'm going to try either here or on Instagram. I have a little, just quick little highlight reel of my time in Minneapolis. Many of you were praying for us at the retreat, and I was able to share with the church there that your prayers and your encouragement, and your love, and it meant a lot to them. And the other thing that I noticed, and I want to share here with us as well, is as I was watching the headlines that particular week, and as you may recall, it was the week that Renee Good was murdered in the streets in Minneapolis, and that's just sort of the face that we're holding up for the many faces that we don't know and can't see who have been detained and mistreated, and those who are hiding and afraid. And so as I was preparing to speak, the topic that I had already, we had already established was I was going to go and speak about rest and practicing the restful way of Jesus in 2026. And I did have a moment of feeling a lot of unrest about that topic. Like, Lord, this feels frivolous. It feels so contrary to the rightful calls for action and activism and protest and movement. And so in that time with the Lord, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for that moment of dissonance, cognitive dissonance, thinking about rest, and felt the Lord's reassurance that the restful way of Jesus is the only way uh, that we can navigate suffering and global suffering, suffering in our communities, our neighborhoods, in our own lives, um, prayerfully and intact. And that these are, in fact, the moments when we need most to understand that Jesus himself is shouldering the weight so that the yoke is easy and the burden is light. And that was encouraging to me, and it seemed to bear fruit with the women that I was able to connect with at the retreat. So I just wanted to share that with you. Throughout the month, I've had the privilege of connecting with individuals who are working and ministering in places like Minneapolis and Maine, places that are in our headlines, in DC. And what I'm noticing again and again, and in fact, I shared with Brian the other day, is the way that light shines in the darkness, where when the darkness becomes more acute, there's something about light and the way that it is revealed in the people of God, um, that is so compelling. While I wish these circumstances didn't exist, I am grateful for the opportunity to bear witness to this steady, clear, restful, um, convicted, energized, powerful light of God moving in people in many of the circumstances, as I'm hearing them, are just these everyday kind of logistical ways of being light in our dark world. And it encouraged me that the light is most evident among the quiet, the meek, the humble, um, often hidden and least of these in the world. And of course, this past week, the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount, entered the lectionary for Epiphany, for fourth week in Epiphany, and it'll be coming up again this Sunday and the fifth Sunday of Epiphany. As we move toward Lent, I just want to invite you to bask in the light, the revealed light of God, revealed in Christ, revealed through Christ's people, revealed, yes, in the church, as dim as that can sometimes seem to be. When we have eyes to see, there is light shining in these places. And so I think that's definitely the encouragement I'm receiving as I've spent some time in an examined prayer, looking back over January and noticing what I need from the Lord going to February. In a very practical way, I am also needing from the Lord lightness in my body. It is cold, and while we've had beautiful sun and bright, beautiful snow, my body is feeling the darkness of the winter months. And so I'm just sharing that with you. It may resonate for you depending on where you live in the world, but that is a prayer that I'm also holding. Like, Lord, I need my body to feel lighter. I need light around me. I need ways to engage with this inside world where I'm kind of confined inside, as many of us are right now, to make beauty and to bask in the light indoors. And so lighting candles has been helpful, finding light in places. But there's a question there I have for the Lord that I'm looking forward to seeing how he leads me in. In the post below, you will see a preview for Lent Daybook, which begins on February 18th. I am very excited about it, and I have I'll share a little bit more and then more in the coming days. But this year I have invited 7 writer friends of mine, or people, acquaintances of mine, people who have been writing in faithful spaces for a long time, who have experienced in one form or another grief, um, the long endurance of waiting on the Lord without knowing how the Lord is going to answer prayer, those who have suffered personally and walked alongside others in their suffering. And we are going to be sharing with you 7 reflections throughout the 7 weeks of Lent, reflecting on Christ's 7 last words on the cross. And so the invitation will be to practice lament, to learn together and listen together for the lament of Christ, as we also listen to each other's stories and listen to our own hearts. And so I'll be sharing more about that below and more about that in the coming days. But for now, just know that February 18th is Ash Wednesday. If you have friends or family who you think could be encouraged by joining in and listening to the lament of Christ, and listening and practicing lament with others, I invite you to give them a gift subscription or invite them to subscribe. And so the last thing I want to say before I close this time is that we have a winner. So this month I am giving away a copy of my book, The Spacious Path, Practicing the Restful Way of Jesus in a Fragmented World. And I'm so excited to say that the paid subscriber name that I drew for this month is Karen Jones. And Karen Jones is a longtime friend, and I'm just delighted to be able to send you a signed copy of this book. Karen, I will reach out to make sure I have your correct mailing address and ask who you'd like me to sign the book for. And I will also be announcing in the post, or in the next couple of days, next month's book giveaway. I think I will probably be featuring a book by one of our guest writers for the Lent Day book series. So I'm just kind of confirming those details. So keep your eyes open for that. And as a reminder, every month I draw a name from paid subscribers at Restful, and one of you receives a book that I want to feature and to give away. And so I'll keep you posted on next month's book. In the meantime, I hope that you will take some time in the coming days, or maybe even today, to use the prayer prompts in the post below to reflect on January, to notice with the Lord where you sensed rest, where you experienced unrest, receiving the comfort of the Lord, and the encouragement of the Lord, the counsel of the Lord, and also taking some time to name with the Lord what you need going forward into this month of February, as we move from the light of Epiphany into the lament of Lent. This would be a good time to pause and to pray and to be present with the Lord. I am always eager to hear what you are noticing as you pray and as you read. And so I hope you'll leave a comment below. And I will be back soon with more information about Lent Day book, as well as what I've been reading, and some upcoming guests that I'll be joining conversations with on live stream. So thank you for your time. May the peace of the Lord be with you as you go back into your day. Bye-bye.